Hi everyone, this is me with the episode of Take It, my first video, and we actually gonna play on a server. We take that one. Has played on it a little bit, and the stone tools I get in the beginning. Yeah. And I literally start on it, so let's play. Oh no, I need to show my password. Oh. And here I'm actually gonna stop the video for a sec. Wait. Now I'm back. I just paste in the I paste in the what it's called. Yeah, I paste on that with the program I'm using. Oh, just to do so. Yeah, I'm using Camtasia. I don't know how to say it or that, but Camtasia I'm saying. You can hear on the name that it's cousin. So I bought it. I bought. I buy. I get it from a friend that was giving that me, and said that he don't want more, and I get it of him. I said, yeah, like you see, my pick is destructible. Now we're gonna make all that into sticks, make some simple stone picks, like so. Oh, lag. See my death point, I need actually to... Oh, I saw claimed of a mob. Oh, that was my mob spawner that I should have used. I'm literally really smart. Oh, it's lagged fast. It's stuck. It's freezed for a sec. But yeah, actually this is gonna be my let's play. And you can comment if you want me to play another game. Yes, comment in there. You're gonna get an answer. Yeah. Comment and you're gonna put up that game. Oh yeah, like you see I have claimed. But I saw some iron here. Oh. My first video gonna be like 15 minutes. Because I tried to record with Bandcamp, not in this server. I just tried to make a let's play there, play with myself. It's just 10 minutes. And I want to record alone. Oh, that's uranium. Oh, balls, that was close. I can't take the uranium because I need a iron pick. Iron pick, yeah. And like you see, I made now the best one on English because I'm from Sweden. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you more because I think Sweden is good, and actually all countries is good. Yeah. So let's make a staircase down like parkour down. Or I hate parkour, so this way down I make is not a parkour. Yeah, there's more iron. Yeah. Simply down. This is my first video, except that I showed my intro. Yeah, that intro I made really simple. I'm gonna I just did it because I wanted an intro like other YouTubers. So I made my own intro just like a fucking pro. Why did I jump so hardly down? And yeah, I haven't played so much on this because I was thinking I made a video on this server because it's better. Yeah, this is marble. And yeah. This is tin. Cording. Oh, is this one more mob spawner? I just this. Oh fuck. What? No, just gonna die. So I'm literally gonna take and loot this chest like a pro. And of course, I don't want the saddles, I want the bucket. Yeah, that should be enough. Oh, yeah. Just time for me to get some iron, then do slash home. And yeah, like I said, this is my first video. So, this is not gonna be the best video ever. So just subscribe, rate, and comment. And I actually have no good name on the Let's Play, so it's also gonna stand get me a name. Oh, what the oh, balls. Yeah, I'm gonna run out of cobble. So I actually need to make slash home. Or I just lose all my stuff. Oh yeah. Much do I got? Yeah, just do /home. Oh yeah. There, I'm gonna fix my stuff. No, I'm gonna build a simple house. Like you see, I say this. So this is gonna be my simple house. I'm gonna have 6 cobblestone there. Can build better, but this is just the simplest house forever alone. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, made wrong. Oh yeah, I did it wrong. Literally, this is my first video ever. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Yeah. Yeah. No, I need to get me. Oh, just literally need to calm down. I need to make ladders for that. Oh, balls. Just 3 ladders. Oh, what the fail. Oh, we need to do like this. And my episode's gonna be like 15 minutes. Yeah. But this is the first one and it's gonna be soon finish. Oh yeah. Actually, I need just a little more. Oh yeah. Oh, Yeah, on this server I'm not gonna play without you looking. And yeah. So I have subscribed to many like Yogscast and them. It was they who get me to play Ticket. Just not play Ticket. It was also to record videos. So I'm actually just saying that it's worth to look at Yogscast. But if you're not liking Yogscast, don't watch. But I'm actually like the Yogscasts, which so yeah, watch it on them. And yeah, I think this was for this episode. So bye.